Hubert Scott-Paine. Hubert Scott-Paine, 11 March 1891 – 14 April 1954, was a British aircraft and boat designer, record-breaking powerboat racer, entrepreneur, inventor, and sponsor of the winning entry in the 1922 Schneider Trophy. Early life. Hubert Paine was born in Shoreham-by-Sea, England, on 11 March 1891, to Henry Paine and Rosanna Scott. He was educated at Shoreham Grammar School. Supermarine. Scott-Paine worked for Noel Pemberton Billing, dealing in yachts, eventually in 1913 forming Pemberton Billing Limited with Supermarine as the telegraphic address, with Hubert the factory manager at Woolston, Hampshire. In 1916, Scott-Paine bought the company and renamed it the Supermarine Aviation Company Limited, building flying boats for the British Admiralty. Reginald Mitchell of Spitfire fame was employed at this time, and the company greatly expanded. Hubert married Alice Brenda Hockey in 1917, having 4 children. By this time he had changed his surname by hyphenating his parents' surnames to create Scott-Paine. Channel Air Service. In February 1919, Scott-Paine started the first cross-channel flying boat service between Woolston and the Channel Islands and Le Havre, using converted Supermarine AD flying boats. His company was named the British Marine Air Navigation Co. Limited. Schneider Trophy. After his failed 1919 attempt for the Jacques Schneider Trophy, Supermarine won the trophy in 1922 with its Sea Lion Roman II. This allowed Britain to win it outright years later. Imperial Airways. In 1923, Scott-Paine sold Supermarine for £192,000. In 1924, Imperial Airways was formed by the merger of Scott-Paine's British Marine Air Navigation Co. Limited and 3 other airlines. He was a director of Imperial Airways until 1939. British Powerboat Company. The well-financed Scott-Paine now designed and raced powerboats. In 1927, he bought the Hythe shipyard, renaming it the British Powerboat Company. It was enlarged into one of the country's most modern mass-production boat-building yards. Many sophisticated, award-winning racing boats were produced, an example being Miss England, which is now on display at the Science Museum, London. In the 1930s, the British Power Boat Company supplied seaplane tenders and armoured target boats to the Air Ministry and tenders for Imperial Airways flying boats. T.E. Shaw Lawrence of Arabia assisted in the testing of these boats. Although the factory was destroyed by fire in 1931, it was rapidly rebuilt and no contracts were lost. Miss Britain Roman III, During 1932 and 1933, Scott-Paine and Fred Cooper designed and built the single-engined Miss Britain Roman III as a Harmsworth Trophy challenger. In a 1933 race, Scott-Paine was narrowly defeated by the 4-engined Miss America X. In 1934, Miss Britain Roman III set the world record for a single-engined boat of 110.1 mph. Miss Britain Roman III is now on display at the National Maritime Museum at Greenwich. Motor torpedo boats. From 1933, Scott-Paine designed and built hard-chine motor torpedo boats and MA/SB anti-submarine boats, from 1935 having them accepted by the Admiralty. Scott-Paine and George Selman designed and built a new 70-foot 21M private venture PV-70, a seagoing MTB with 3 marinized Rolls-Royce Merlin engines. The boat was launched in 1938, but although no orders came from the Admiralty, orders were received from friendly governments. PT boats. In 1939, agreement was reached with the American Electric Launch Company Elco to purchase a British power boat 70-footer, later named PT-9, as a template for American production under license. PT-9 was taken by the SS President Roosevelt to Elco's works at New London, Connecticut. On 3 October, Scott-Paine met President Roosevelt and senior Elco representatives at the White House to to authorize the creation of a new naval arm, the PT boat squadrons. PT boat was short for Patrol Torpedo Boat. Production started at a new Elco factory at Bayonne, New Jersey in January 1940. The Canadian Power Boat Company was set up by Scott-Paine in 1940. This produced 39 boats, mainly MTB. After the passing of Lend-Lease in 1941, comparative trials, nicknamed the Plywood Derbies, were held between rival American boat builders, Elco winning both. Elco went on to produce 754 70, 77, and 80-foot 24 MPT boats, including Jack Kennedy's Petone 109, as well as the boat that rescued General Douglas MacArthur from Corregidor. Later years. In December 1944, Scott-Paine received a check for $200,000 with an accompanying letter of appreciation for his contributions made to the development of the PT boat from Secretary of the Navy James Forrestal. The money was from Elco and was brokered by legal teams, releasing Elco from any and all further liabilities concerning the license rights. In 1945, all contracts at both the Canadian and British power boat companies were cancelled. Scott-Paine was divorced in 1946 and married Margaret Dinkildine, his secretary in New York, in the same year. His health had not been good for years, and in April, 2 months later, he suffered a stroke. In 1948, he was made an American citizen. Hubert Scott-Paine died at Greenwich, Connecticut, on 14 April 1954, aged 63.